Wanted to talk about oiling trumpet valves for a moment. Technically, this is a cornet, not a trumpet. It's just what I happen to be using at home. Here in America, in modern America, we use them fairly interchangeably. In British brass bands, they'll have a cornet section and a trumpet section and treat them as separate instruments. So in the end, everywhere that metal touches metal and stays put together is going to get some type of lubrication. This does not need lubrication because it's not made to stay together. If you do lubricate that, it can go flying off by accident, hit somebody or hurt somebody. So the types of lubrication that the rest of the instrument get are either oil or slide grease. Now, slide grease is not the same as trombone slide cream. Slide grease is really thick and gooey, and this goes on metal touching metal that's not supposed to move fast. So slide grease, and my beginner students, I'm just telling you this, don't use it yet. Slide grease is meant to go on the tuning slides, these things that go in and out here, and without getting them on the valve itself, on the threads of the valve caps. Now, my beginner students, I do not want you taking apart your valves. I don't want these valve caps taken off, not the bottom or the top valve cap. When you get more advanced, that's the better way to oil the valves, but you're a beginner, and you're a beginner in remote band. So no taking those valves apart. So in the end, what we're really dealing with is the oil. And the oil is meant to go inside the valve so that inside you've got like a hollow tube, and then you have like a metal piston, and that needs to be able to smoothly move up and down so that the holes align and change the pitch. And we're not going to take off the top or bottom valve cap to get to it. I always have a few kids that think they're really creative and they're going to squirt oil into the holes in the bottom. And that seems great except gravity. Because as soon as you go to play, all that oil drips right on your lap, and then it looks like you messed yourself because your lap is wet. Don't do that. What we do want to do is find the little tubing connected to each of these valve casings. Remember, valve 1's closest to your face, 2 is in the middle, 3 is furthest away. So if you find the tube connected to valve 2, open it up, you'll have 2 holes. This happens to be the Interstate Music Supply bottle. It's white, color of the bottle means nothing. This one is the Outcast Fast. It's a clear bottle, color of the bottle means nothing. If you take your oil and you put 2 drops in each hole, and then we want to rub that in, and we rub it in by moving the valve. Just think for a moment, if you were to put lotion on your arm and you put 2 blobs of lotion here and you walked away, you haven't put lotion in your arm yet, you'd have to rub it in. So after we put 2 drops in each hole, we move the valve and that spreads the oil around. Put this back in and that valve has been oiled. Do the same thing with the first valve where you pull it out, 2 drops in each hole, work it in, push that back in. Then go to third valve, remember gravity, pull out the part that you need to work with. Gravity, 2 drops in each hole. Don't try to put the drops in with the holes aiming down. 2 drops in each hole. And I do not mean 2 big squirts. If you're putting big squirts in, it's just going to leak right back out of your instrument, mess up your pants. Probably not going to damage it, but if it gets on your mama's carpet, your mama's going to be mad. So 2 drops in, I'm working it in, I'm rubbing in the oil, and then I put this part back in. Several of my students are going to have fancy restrictors, extra screws that are added to make this not come out by accident. If you have that, I want to FaceTime with you or video call with you and guide you through that one-on-one to make sure you know how to do it. I don't want you unscrewing things on your own, because if you undo the wrong screw, like for instance, if you take out the water key screw, that's not something you're going to be able to fix at home. So there's your basics of how to lubricate a trumpet or how to oil the trumpet valves. And like I say, there are more advanced ways, but we're not going to do those yet.